Hey everybody, it's your host Mike App, and welcome to episode 10 of turning $500 into a 100K challenge flipping NFTs. Episode 10, Immutable X, Gary V's favorite marketplace. I mentioned Gary V because he recently launched his book games NFT on the Immutable X Marketplace, and it has done incredibly well for the amazingly beautiful art that he has done with very lots of effort that he put into it. But it's not just Gary V's favorite marketplace. The fact is, it's actually a really good place to trade. There is incredibly cheap fees due to the fact that it is a layer 2 solution to the Ethereum chain. So basically, let's say it's another network that works with the ETH chain to help with congestion, costs, and speed and scalability. So it's faster, cheaper, and more scalable, which is all good. So in a way, it's a competitor to Ethereum and also, let's say, to Cardano and Solana and AVAX and Binance and their NFT marketplace. But why should we know about this NFT marketplace? Why should we use it? One, it's fully funded. It's like $80 million on its like Series B funding. It's still relatively new. It's less than like a year old. It has a lot of notable people and or companies using it, right? We have Gary V right here putting his project on Immutable X. But not only that, we have VV working, right? And VV's working with Marvel. So it's like that they're working with Immutable X. That's a lot of exposure. And there's also the GameStop news/collaboration with Immutable X for their NFT marketplace. So lots of potential there. And when it comes to projects on the Immutable X marketplace, I feel like they're way more audited in a sense that they have a lot more long-term potential and less risk in terms of, let's say, members running away or a rug pull or anything. So at least that's what I've noticed, especially compared to, let's say, Ethereum/OpenSea Marketplace or Solana/Magic Eden and or Solana Art. I feel like there's way more projects on those networks that are a scam or a rug pull, or the members are just going to disband and then you're left with nothing. Whereas on Immutable X, I feel like they are really tight on who they work with. So they're not just going to invite anybody or add anybody onto their platform. And so it's all like long-term projects that are like, let's say, planned out. Now, I'm not saying you can just get into any NFT and then they're all gonna boom. One thing you want to note right now, the Immutable X Marketplace is still relatively early. NFTs are early. Immutable X has one of the most notable exposures in terms of the marketplaces. I would say it's OpenSea's first, and then second is Solana, and then third is Immutable X, but it's not that far from the Solana marketplace. And so there's a lot of good blue chip potential and short-term flips. Like the book games by Gary V was an easy flippable NFTs. If you got into it early, the price was just picking up, going up. So if you kept just buying the floor and relisting, buying the floor and relisting slightly higher, there was a good possibility that it was flippable. But not only that, there's also other methods of flipping. Don't worry, I will mention how to do that. So at the end of the day, Immutable X is a great place to find projects, to flip projects, and to put your money in long term. Now, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own due diligence and only risk the money that you can afford to lose. So I feel like the Immutable X Marketplace cuts the fat and just hands you out, decent projects that have great long-term potential. Gods Unchained has been out for like, I don't know, a year or two or something, and people are loving this game. So it's like that could be a great project to get into. All right, so now that you know Immutable X is a great place to trade, flip, and invest in NFTs, how does it work? So you simply go to market.immutable.com, and then you need a connect wallet. You're going to need your MetaMask wallet with ETH on it. Now, I just want to note that even though the transfer fees and the gas fees are cheap when you are on the Immutable X network, you still have to consider, let's say, transferring the Ethereum to your MetaMask wallet, and also the transfer fee from your MetaMask wallet to the Immutable X network. And so I'll show you this. For example, if we transfer some funds from our exchange, whatever exchange you want to use to get ETH from. So you can get it from KuCoin, Coinbase, and if you're from Canada, you can use Newton. So I'm gonna purchase some ETH. So we're gonna click trade. We're gonna max out our dollars and get 0.24891 ETH. Review trade, buy ETH. So we successfully now have 0.025 ETH. Now what we want to do is send this ETH to our MetaMask wallet. So withdraw crypto to wallet. Let's max that out. Let's open up our MetaMask and then let's copy our wallet and then go back here and then paste it and then review withdrawal. And then we're going to get charged 0.001631 ETH. Okay, now that's not too bad right now. Sometimes that could even be higher, and some of it's going to be covered by Newton depending on your exchange. Some of it might be covered, all of it might be covered, or none of it might be covered. So most of mine's going to be covered, and so technically I'm only going to be paying around 0.0003 if you subtract the difference between the two. So I'm still going to have a good chunk left over, so that's good. I just wanted to note that because sometimes transferring from your exchange to your MetaMask wallet could end up eating like $50. So if you send $100, it's not really worth it. So that's fee one. So fee one, we got dinged, let's just say 0.0016 ETH. So that's roughly around $6 Canadian or roughly $5 US. So that's still, a decent amount to pay just to transfer. Luckily, Newton covered most of it, so I didn't really pay much. And then the next thing to do is, and then wait till we receive it. However, I just got it right now. So I just received the ETH in my MetaMask wallet. And then from our MetaMask wallet, we got to go back to the Immutable X Marketplace. And then we want to connect the wallet over here. So we're going to click Connect Wallet and then click MetaMask and then click Connect Wallet. And then MetaMask will pop up. And then click the account that you want to connect to Immutable X with. Then click next and then a confirmation, connect, and then we need to sign in for Immutable X. So click sign in. And then one more time, we got to sign on MetaMask and then our wallet is connected. So we're connected. Now the thing is, now we got to transfer the Ethereum from our MetaMask basically into Immutable X. And then our Immutable X is basically tied to our MetaMask wallet. So MetaMask connects to Immutable X, and then our ETH is going to be on Immutable X. And then when that happens, you can't technically use it on anything else other than the Immutable X network, which would be other games that are using it, such as Goons of Balatron or TokenTrove, which is another place. So basically anything else that's using the Immutable X network is where you can use that ETH that you put on the Immutable X network. So if we click deposit and deposit ETH, and so we're going to see the amount of ETH that we have in our wallet over here. And then down here, we're going to type in how much we want to transfer. So we're going to transfer 0.027 ETH. And then we're going to click continue. And then Immutable X is going to load along with MetaMask. MetaMask is going to ask us if we want to sign this. So we're going to click sign. And then we need to confirm the deposit. So we're going to deposit 0.0027, which is what we wrote. And we're going to have to pay for gas fees for the one-time account activation, similar to OpenSea. So we're going to confirm and then see how much those gas fees are going to cost us. So signing the transaction. So right now, I'm going to pay $21 to sign this. Just to get onto the Immutable X, I have to pay this $21. Now, this could be higher or lower depending on the day or time. Today is February 14th on a Monday on 12 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe it's very low right now. Honestly, I have no clue these days on what's high or low. I personally think that's high to send just $100. So we're just going to do it in this scenario. Oh, it just dropped. That's cool. We're going to click confirm. So now we deposit our ETH onto Immutable X. And this is why I say you should probably start off bare minimum $300, if not like $500. That way, when you do send your ETH to Immutable X, you don't lose so much. You know what I'm trying to say? So now it says deposit is on its way. This is probably going to take less than a minute, and then you should be able to see the ETH on Immutable X. So remember when we sent money from our domestic exchange, we had to basically pay $5 to $6, and then we also had to pay like another $18 to like $25 to just get it onto Immutable X. So let's just say we're down like 31. We're technically not down 31, it's less than that, but it could be totally different depending on how much congestion there is on the Ethereum network. So even though this network is cheap, to get into it, you got to consider all those fees. So I say, start with at least $300. That way, if you lose like $50, you still got $250. Whereas with $100, it's like you're down 30%. And, with $70, you may not have enough to get into many of the NFTs here. Not that I'm saying there aren't NFTs you can't get into. There totally are NFTs for a very, very low price, right? We have these baby crows for around $40 US, which is enough for me to purchase one. And so if you check the activity on your MetaMask, you can then see if the Immutable X transfer went through. And so it's right here. It says contract interaction between Link X Immutable, where 0.027 ETH was taken. And from there, we can view on the block explorer to see what the status is, and the status is success. So I should now be able to see 0.027 Ether, and the total gas fees was around 22.42 at the time the transaction went through. So that's pretty high. And so once the Ethereum has been sent, a couple minutes later, you will then be able to see the amount of tokens you have, or the Ethereum you have, by clicking inventory, and then on the right, you'll see what kind of tokens you have on your Immutable X wallet. So I only have ETH, so therefore you only see ETH. Now let's go back onto the marketplace and purchase an NFT just so you get an idea of what the transaction fees and how the process works. So let's click on Guild of the Guardian Heroes. Pretty popular NFT on Immutable X right now, and it's actually not too expensive to get into it. If we click listing currency, we can pick the currencies for specific NFTs that are listed in these specific currencies. Now, USDC and ETH are basically like the third-party currencies, whereas everything else is kind of like the domestic currencies on this market. By the end of the day, ETH and USDC are the most popular. So this is where listing currencies are. This is where you can organize by, price, date listed, name, search bar, and then rarity over here. So that's where the characteristics are. Now, there isn't rarity information on here or sales activity on here, which is a bit unfortunate because it kind of makes trading a bit hard when all you're given is just prices. That means you really got to be watching the floor or this web page constantly to get an idea of what the flow is. Now, if you go on TokenTrove, they have more data there. I'll show later on in this video on how TokenTrove works in terms of data and helping with trading. But let's right now go back into the Immutable Marketplace, and then let's go on listing currency and select ETH because that's what we got. And then let's pick one of these characters. The cheapest is the Olmec. He seems kind of cool, so we're going to pick him. So apparently the NFT is not loading, but I'll still have the rights to it. So if we click buy now, Immutable X is going to pop up. It's going to let us know the price and then either confirm or deny. If we click confirm, it's going to then bring us our MetaMask and then let us know should we sign this or not. And then we click sign, and then Immutable X is then going to let you know that it's been finished. And boom, we just purchased this NFT and paid pretty much nothing in terms of transaction fees. If we click on transactions, it will let us know how much we paid for it, which was 0.0102. So as you can see, transaction fees on the Immutable X network is incredibly low because it's nothing, and therefore makes it really worthwhile for small purchases too. And that's why like Gods Unchained or Goons of Balatron, which sells card packs, it really works with them because the card packs and the cards are cheap, and you don't want to be charging $20 gas or $50 gas fees to trade a card pack when the card pack is only worth a couple dollars. So once your money is on Immutable X or your ETH is on Immutable X, then the trading becomes more worth it. Because now that I have this NFT, in terms of profiting on it, I just have to make it go a little bit higher. Now, unfortunately, for me to withdraw, I gotta get more ETH for this to make sense, because if I withdraw on $100, I'm gonna pay another like $20, and then I'm left with like 50 or 40. So basically what I'm trying to say, at the end of the day, start off with 300, if not more, 500, if not more than that. That way, when you are on Immutable X, you can easily trade and not having to deal with the initial transfer / gas fees. But once you're on the network, it's super cheap, as I just shown you here. Now, in terms of data and becoming a better trader, so one, I think it's really important that you actually go through all these projects that are currently on here, because there's a lot of blue chip projects on here that have a lot of potential in terms of just simple long-term holds, and a lot of them are actually on the cheaper side of things. So if you start off with like $500 or $1,000, you can actually pick up a good chunk of NFTs that you can then put off to the side and hold long term. So there's not that many projects. Just go through them, find what you like, find what makes the most sense, audit that Twitter, audit that Discord, audit their website. Refer to the previous episodes if you want to know how to audit properly. MikeGap.com/NFT trades. I will take you straight to the playlist. And so once you did data collecting here and like auditing the NFTs on TokenTrove, it basically shows you the same exact NFTs on Immutable X, and it's under the Immutable X network. Therefore, whatever happens on Immutable X will also be on TokenTrove. What I like about TokenTrove is if we search an NFT, such as the Guild of Guardians that I just purchased, and then so if we're on Guild of Guardians on TokenTrove, you see a floor price. They also have their social media. You have, again, the pricings and then the sort by. They even have a rarity sorter, so you can sort by rarity. That's why I'm like, you got to use TokenTrove on top of the Immutable X Marketplace. They also have another filter over here regarding about characteristics. And then another thing I want to note is the fact that, just like I mentioned in the previous episodes, when there's multiple marketplaces for different NFTs, there's always a good opportunity to exploit the marketplace price for NFTs on there. For example, on TokenTrove, the ALMAC costs 0.0098 Ethereum, whereas on Immutable X in Ethereum, it's 0.0104. Now there's some tiny profit there. Remember, there's no gas or transfer fees, so you can still make 0.001. Now this is just one example. Once you start swifting through the marketplace and the NFT collection sets and look for the ones you like, you're going to start seeing a price difference between TokenTrove and Immutable X, and then you're going to start noticing even bigger pricing gaps for different NFTs, and that's when you can start flipping that and getting and exploiting that and making money off that way. Again, I mentioned that in the previous episodes where I show how to do it on the Solana network, but it's exactly the same thing. You would just basically pick up this NFT and then relist it here on Immutable X for a higher price, especially if that NFT is higher on the opposing marketplace. So on TokenTrove, again, you have some more abilities in terms of checking characteristics regarding about the NFT, but if we go to rankings, it also shows us volume 24 hour, volume change 24 hour, the amount of transactions 192, volume 7-day change, and then transactions 7-day, and then they also have a graph in terms of sales, of quantity, and volume. So right now, volume is the least amount right now. Probably the price is the lowest, but there's no price floor here, unfortunately. So you're going to have to be using other tools to really take advantage of Immutable X. And the other tools you should be using is Snoopy Tools, which basically lets you know the current floor, the volume, the amount of sales, and whether it has a rarity guide or not, and then unique holder ratio, which basically just lets you know how many NFTs each holder is holding. And if we go on to, let's just collect Moody Crows, it gives us even more data regarding about the NFT. And they have an item section where you can check the pricing here too, and connect with the buyer and purchase it here. So it's another place where you can buy. They also have an analytics section, but unfortunately it's for pro members only, which honestly, the floor change is probably the best feature, but this is something that you can manually do, which I do truly recommend in terms of flipping NFTs profitably, is that you want to go on to the NFT collection set that you like and find 10 to like 100 of them and just check the floor price twice a day, every day, and then you're going to start noticing different patterns. And so, for example, here's me doing it for Solana NFTs, and this one's for Solantasy. And, you get to see the price fluctuating throughout the day, and it gives you good visuals on when to buy, right? January 26th, it's 0.40 Sol, and then on February 7th, it's 0.23, right? 0.20 on 10th. maybe it's a good time to buy somewhere between the 0.25 to the 0.15 and then sell it at 0.40. If we look at like Soul Ape, we got 0.56 right now, and then 6 days later 0.60, and then another 6 days later we got 0.80. So probably buying around 0.40ish to 0.50ish makes sense to sell at 0.80. And this is why I like doing floor watching. Once you got 3 weeks worth of data, you can really make some good choices in terms of flipping NFTs. So now back to Immutable and in terms of data and finding data. So you got Snoopy tools. There is some free data that you can use, but again, it's limited. And I also just want to know on TokenTrove, when you click on the NFT, it gives you more data in terms of like the floor price and the volume regarding about the specific NFT. So this specific NFT, the floor price went from like 0.0145 ETH to like a high of 0.0222 ETH. Now that's some good data collecting, but it's like limited to the specific NFT and it's not for the whole collection. Unfortunately, they don't have all that data. So when it comes to like data collection, you really got to do it manually and like visually look. And so another tool you can use is IMXRarity.Tools. And basically it's a Rarity Tools for IMX or Immutable X projects. There's not that many projects on there, so you are limited. However, if we just click on Moody Crows, it will show us, Rarity ranks, and then it'll show us the NFTs that it ranked by. So it's definitely good for some projects, and along with filtering, so you could use that if you're looking at NFTs that are on here. And then they have a bot section which then lets you know which NFTs are selling. You can check it out by joining their Discord. It's really simple. You join the Discord and then there'll be notifications on there. And so when it comes to being successful at flipping NFTs on Immutable X, I truly believe the simplest thing to do is go through all the projects that are currently out there right now and pick somewhere between 10 to 100 projects and then start following the pricings for like at least 2-3 weeks. And then once you have the pricings, you can start getting an idea of when you should buy and when you should sell, along with checking, their Twitter and Discords in terms of news releases or new integrations, because whenever that happens, the pricing is most likely going to appreciate. So maybe it might even be a better time to buy at an all-time high, because tomorrow the price is going to get higher due to the news release regarding about the integration or new update that they're having. So that's very important. Now, in terms of finding projects, you can use Snoopy Tools. If you log in and then click upcoming, you log in just with your MetaMask and your Immutable X. There are upcoming projects right here. So there's IMX Rovers, there's Los Hippos, there's Immutable Giraffes, Chosen Ones, Llama Punks, Angry Elves, and more projects. So some decent projects on here. To be honest, it's quite hard to find upcoming projects on the Immutable network. So definitely use Snoopy Tools upcoming. That's a really, really helpful section. And you can also check nftcalendar.io/b/IMX. And they'll have like 1 or 2 NFTs that are up and coming. Again, you can check these out. Make sure to audit their Twitter, their Discord, their website, their search volume, their team members, doxed, not doxed. Again, I mentioned how to do all of this in the previous episodes, especially in the first 3 episodes. So to go to micap.com/NFT trades so that you can learn how to do that. So you can use those 2 websites to find up and coming Immutable X projects. But with that being said, the best thing to do is create your own Twitter account. So a separate Twitter account from like your main one, and then use that Twitter account to follow all like the top projects on Immutable along with the marketplaces. So that way when you go onto your profile and you click home, you're mainly just shown Immutable X projects or people posting about Immutable X projects. And then you can then use your Twitter to then find new projects to get into or updates regarding about a NFT or some influencer getting into an NFT that might help with the hype or something. So use that as your data. So just create a new Twitter account. I just call this Immutable Follower, and I literally just followed Immutable.com's Twitter page, TokenTrove's Twitter page, right? Then Guild of the Guardians Twitter page, along with the other top NFTs such as Book Games, Ember Sword, High Rise, Planet Quest. So just follow a lot of them, and eventually you're going to get projects to follow, and then use the websites I mentioned. And when it comes to finding and auditing NFTs, whether midterm or long term or short term, and you want to get that information and learn about that information, that way you can flip NFTs better, then I really recommend joining the VIP community in the whitelist tier, which gives you access to our private Discord channel, which then lets you know about our NFT buy and sell calls, our crypto buy and sell calls, our stocks buy and sell calls, and as a bonus, my 7-figure credit leveraging course and weekly VIP crypto and NFT lessons. So if you want to cut the fat and just get into projects that have good short-term, midterm, and long-term potential, then I really recommend joining the VIP community. That way you get that edge on crypto and NFTs and sharpen your skills. And make sure to follow my Twitter at MikeGapOfficial and join my alpha community on my Facebook group at MikeGap.com/Facebook and join the VIP weekly newsletter at MikeGap.com/email. And join the public Discord at MikeGap.com/Discord. Smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. And as always, this is your host, Mike Gap. And until next time, peace.